We are live on our TSL Online call. Welcome. June 28th, 2017. We just got done with a workshop, last week, 5-day. It was really awesome. But we have a question on the call that has to do about lying or, being manipulative, being deceptive at work. And so these things happen all the time, and we justify them in the weirdest ways. Or we think about them. There's a lot of discussion on the call about no, man, you're expendable, or it's okay if you do that, but it's not okay to do this, or because they do that, you can do it. Man, why don't you just do it because you want to do it? And that's how we need to start thinking, that if you want to do something, you have the fortitude to deal with it. If you want to lie about something, if you want to take an easier road, you can decide to do that. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're a weak person, but it might also mean you're a weak person. It might also mean that you're trying to skip around or whatever. It might be that, but it doesn't have to be. And so many of us rely on that. And that's terrible, because that is speaking, learning, and acting on guilt. Now, that being said, this is the Daily Awesome Podcast. You should definitely subscribe to it on iTunes or Stitcher or wherever you're listening to it at. You can also subscribe on YouTube, and if you click the free stuff link down below, there's a lot of cool stuff. There's how you can access our free board. And we talk about that a lot, because on the free board, it's much different than on the board where people are involved in our groups. Where people are involved in our groups, and on the paid section, as we say, it's infinitely better. But we have the free board there because you want to ask questions. You want to see what we're all about. And it's just interesting. There's a lot of people there on a lot of free boards talking that haven't experienced, and it's always a bummer. Anyway, that all being said, welcome, come, join us. It's a community. It's badass. In fact, I will tell you right now, if you're a guy looking to better yourself, do that. You might be driving, you might be whatever, do that. Free stuff link. You can watch the video, you can read some short paragraph, and you can download the free PDF that's there, but find our free group, the Awesome Men's Development Group. Come there, hang out. It's badass. Now, back to this. So we're always pressured with man, we shouldn't lie. And we hear all this shit all day long, man. I fucking hate it because I don't trust any motherfuckers like this. Basically, if you have not fucked up in life to the point where you have lost the privilege of honesty or lost the privilege of trustworthiness and then earned it back, man, you don't know it. You don't know it. You are speaking from concept. You are speaking from somebody who doesn't know the latitude of all the gray area, because what makes an authentic man is him being himself. It's not that you hit this checklist of you stand in the sunset looking with your back turned and you nod, and women look at you because you have so much power, and people trust you and men follow you, and that's the true sign. Man, fuck that. That is the result of desperate men living in a culture where they go to work every day and don't feel anything worthy, so they watch some fucking movie and they think that's what they're supposed to be, so they broadcast that image out to the world, but it's not reality. What makes you somebody that is a man means that you've been challenged in life, means that you have lied, means that you've been deceptive, means that you've been manipulative. And the thing is a human being, you're going to go through that, right? And I'm not saying that you need to do it. You need to do it more, that you need to hurt people, but human nature works that way. So that all being said, when it comes into the workplace and we have something and we're about to leave a job, or, we don't want to tell the full story to our boss, or we're in a relationship, this happens all the time, and let's say we do something that might piss off our significant other, we can decide to say, I'm going to leave that out. And if we really think about it, of course, if she does that to you and you go, oh my God, she lied to me. I can't believe she did. It's so deceptive. She must be a psychopath. Now I have an excuse to fucking hate everybody and not work on myself because I was victimized. No, man, it sucks. We'll be upset if she does that. But we also have to understand that. It was interesting because in my relationships will challenge you in the biggest ways in your fucking life. And relationships, they can come and go and be really peaceful, and then all of a sudden chaotic. They can end and all this sort of stuff. We haven't figured that out. No matter how badass your life coach or podcast or author or whatever you listen to, no, man, it's an ongoing ebb and flow of life. We have to always be challenged. It's very difficult. But I remember I was talking to a guy and he was saying, look, man, people rebel for all sorts of reasons. And perhaps, in my situation, my significant other was rebelling, acting out. And it sounds like she's rebelling, Steve. People rebel for all sorts of reasons. Why don't you let that happen and let her come back with the choice that maybe that didn't work, then rather than having to control it or stop it or fix it and all these different things. And I really needed to hear that, man. And I needed to hear that multiple times that day, and even that week. And when we think about this with our boss, why do we have to tell them everything? In fact, I tell bosses this all the time whenever I talk to them about their work and working with their employees or whatever. I'm saying, why would you tell your employee that about what's happening behind the doors in the company? Why would you? That's like telling them, oh yeah, here's your debriefing of the day and here's how much I make and here's how much you make. You don't need to say that. This doesn't add to this system that we've all agreed upon to work in, right? And this system that we've agreed upon to work in doesn't say that you need to tell your boss that you're going to quit or that you need to feel bad about it or that you're going to move on or you're looking for something else. And it also doesn't mean that they have to be assholes in order for you to make that decision and justify it. What it means is that you can decide for yourself and be the person to accept that sort of responsibility, man. And that's the best thing. That's how we all work. We all get so in our heads about this, about what's right or wrong. And it comes back to that first thing we did the first video about, is that we don't know ourselves. And because we don't know ourselves, we doubt ourselves. And when we doubt ourselves, especially if we've had some bad days, we've had some cracks in our sidewalk on the path that we're walking on, or maybe our sidewalk's just fucked and the fucking cement went away and there's just this avalanche of dirt and mud that we got to walk through every day and see it because we got fucked somehow or we fucked ourselves or whatever it is. We think that it's very easy for us to be the bad guys in it. No, man. You're going to fuck up. Let yourself fuck up. Let yourself have those experiences. Let yourself lie. I remember there's a guy who joined our course and he says, that doesn't seem like the most authentic thing, Steve. And I said, how doesn't make sense? You're going to, whatever it was you're going to fucking, I don't know, walk away from a relationship, whatever it was. It's this guy was walking away. He said, that doesn't seem authentic. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? If he's doing it and that's what he wants to do, that's the thing. You might say that doesn't seem like it's a very good template of what the real man is. But let me fucking tell you something, man. You put yourself out in relationships, career, purpose, life. You push your body. You push your mind. You push yourself in certain situations. You're going to come to a point where you don't know. And there's an easier way where you just go, fuck yeah. And there's a harder way where you're going, fuck no. And that's going to happen. And I do not judge a man who has pushed himself into a place of life where he sometimes takes that easier way, because you got to do it. You got to do it to know whether you want to do it, whether it's wrong, what is wrong and right about it, and what works, right? And sometimes that'll happen. Everybody, man, I love this when people talk about honesty and they go, I'm just I'm not honest, blah, 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 blah. Or they say I am honest, and they say a guy gave me a $10 bill at the grocery store when I handed him a $5 or whatever. He gave me change for a 10, and I gave it back to him. And I'm always like, fuck you, man. Fuck you. I'll take that money. It's a mistake, or sometimes I'll give it back. But I'm going to judge my moral caliber on that? Really? Really? And that's where it's on the real decisions in life. Am I happy? Do I want this? I'm feeling tension and I want to run, or I'm feeling tension, I want to beat the shit out of somebody, or these things that actually affect people in big ways. Yeah, I get it, man. If they're $5 short, that does suck on their till. But man, really? Dude, those are the things which I need to learn how to be honest in, or how to be moral in, or how to be something. There's actually a lot I could say about this on a totally separate subject, because I got kind of a slap in the face with something today. Well, it's something I needed to do. But man, that's where we need to go with it. It was funny too, because we were talking about sales. And I was talking to this, or I didn't say this, so pay attention. We're on a live call. Pay attention, because if I'm working with somebody on sales, right? And for me, it's much different. I'll actually say, in my job of selling stuff like TSL Online, it's hey, here's the product. You want to talk to me? You like this? You can come try it out. You can see this and that. You either like it or you don't. It's going to work. It's going to work in the ways that we say it's going to work, because it's happened so many times, right? So that's a little bit different. But if I'm selling something, and I'm not building a huge relationship with them, like TSL Online, I get to know the guys really well, but man, I'll say something. So if a guy says no to me and it has to do with something that is like, you know, uh, what do you call the fitness? It could be an investment in their life, and I'll just say like, look, man, and he's married or in a relationship. I'll say, look, man, one of the hardest things for a man is to be recognized on your decision of who you are. You don't get that, man. I wish that women could go to school and get that if they just believed in you and what you did, it would give you so much. But this is an action where that's happening. And don't get yourself mired down about all those things that, oh my God, I'm spending this money or blah, 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 blah. I know you've heard the invest in yourself thing, but man, fucking, I don't know. You make the decision. I want you to do it and not have me whatever. But like, look, this is the part where God damn, man, it's one of the greatest things you can do to believe in yourself and to do something and to earn that and build that life around you. And that's what we're talking about here. That's the advice I'm giving you, man. So I would go for that. I would totally say that, and that's mixing in all sorts of cold reading stuff and different report cycling things. But am I doing it? I mean, if I do it because I have a bad product and I'm tricking him and truly lying to him, man, that sucks. But if I'm doing it because I believe in it, and I'm going to get him to the quickest road to shut the fuck up in his mind about the bullshit resistance that he's feeling of, and think about this. Anybody who knows sales, anybody who knows seduction, they're two different things. There are differences, but what is making somebody say no actually is so different from the actual dissatisfaction that they'll feel. And what somebody is going to say yes to is actually so different than the satisfaction that they will feel. So we're dancing in this thing of people talking about stuff which is not going to be reality, whether it's the bad thing or the good thing. Man, I'm going to try and cut through that as quick as possible to get them in action to the reality that they know. That is something that I feel good about. That is something that I feel is the best road because I've lived both sides. That is something that I do, and I do it without guilt. Not because I shut everything off, but because I felt everything. And I think everybody's too afraid to do that. You have to be willing to feel everything, to experience it all, so that you can make a clear decision and gain wisdom as a man, rather than just respond or react and listen to whatever people tell you what to do and blah, 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 and oh, this is morally bad and I'm a bad person, because we don't connect, we don't communicate, we don't have something where we are taught to believe in ourselves. We have a lot of doubt. We spin off into this bullshit way where, I don't know, we think the answer is what some dude on a podcast you don't even fucking see what his actual life is like is telling you to do. Fuck that. But if you like this podcast and you want to talk to me more and you actually want to get to know me and you want to get to know the 12 guys that are on this call right now talking about some real shit, and all this is infinitely better when I shut the fuck up, when these guys actually start talking. So if you want to be on that, you go to the free stuff link down below. You join our free group, the Austin Men's Development Group. If you like it, try some things out, post questions, I'll answer them. Although there's a lot of traffic on, there's a lot of stuff going on. So I try and get to everything, but you get quality answers. You also get some answers that you get from a free stuff group of guys that don't know. You can check out our MD Excellence program. You can check out our starter program. God damn, man. Our starter program is beefed up now. Check it out. It's $20 a month. Currently when I'm recording this. So there's a lot of cool stuff that you can plug into, and also you can download our free PDFs, which are all badass. They're all based off of experience and coaching and what actually works with guys. So come do that. Come join us. Get to know us. Let's just not make this a passive thing. As soon as you are done with this, you can go to the free stuff link, sign up on the website, and get involved in what we do, because it's good work and it's about being a good man and through community where we keep ourselves in check, where we can be ourselves. In any case, I'll talk to you guys later. You guys have a good day.